So normally with aerodynamics, I'll tell you what, let's use my different view. There's a big face. A big face. So, normally with an aircraft in flight, this is your aircraft in flight, you have 4 forces acting on the aircraft. So you got drag, which goes against you. You got lift, which is always perpendicular to wings. You got gravity, which is always downwards, and then you'll have thrust, which is forwards. Now, if they were doing full aerodynamic modelling, then you get lift as you increase speed, and so rather than going in the direction that you're heading, you'll gradually lift up as you're facing forwards. And what they've done is they simplified that and said, well, let's take the steady state scenario, and if you say that lift matches your weight, then you don't have any sort of vertical drift, and you can just say that you're just heading in the direction that you're facing. And you can apply that generally. It's a sort of nice way of doing it, and then all you have to worry about is going up and down. And if you're going up, gravity acts downwards, so the proportion of the gravity that is perpendicular to your flight is offset by the lift, so ignore that completely. And then you've got a portion of gravity that is acting to slow you down. And all they do is they say, when you get to a certain speed, level out. And it's a nice way of doing it, because as a bird you assume that you're sensible and you're not going to stall your own wings and fall out the air. Conversely, if you're going downwards, gravity then helps to speed you up. So it's nice and simplified. It works very well. Your biggest problem with it is when you come into land. Now, normally when an aircraft comes into land, it does what's known as a flare, which is basically you're coming in like this, and then you lift nose up just to bleed off your last little bit of speed as you gently come down to land on the runway. And you'll see that birds will do this because they got to land on their feet, so they'll literally go like that and then just start flapping to stop where their forward momentum. And so that way you can do a nice sensible landing. The problem with this, with the simplified model, is that you're always going forwards in the direction that you're facing. So if you lift the nose up, you're either going to go upwards, or it'll just say, well, you drop below a certain speed and drop your nose down again. So the only sort of real way of doing a landing in the game, or the best way of doing a landing, is basically just to dive straight at the ground and then transform, which is what they've done. It's fair enough. It's an easy way of doing it, but it's a bit niggling. as somebody who likes